Hey, it's Checkmate, and did you know that Die in the Dungeon is a board game now? Very soon, the Kickstarter campaign opens up and you can pre-order a copy and help meet funding stretch goals. The board game creator behind this project is Roomiz Games. They are the ones that successfully launched the Children of Morta board game, which is another indie strategy game, so I have high hopes. The creator is also a huge Die in the Dungeon fan, and I know that John and Alarts the devs have been super involved in the design. If you aren't familiar with Kickstarter, it is a crowdfunding platform where you can pledge funds to get a copy of the game and potentially exclusive rewards. If the funding goal isn't met, Kickstarter will refund you, and while there is always a tiny bit of risk, Roomiz Games has successful projects already, and judging from their comments, they might be pretty much done on the design already. I'm super excited to get my hands on this game. From the beginning, back in the old classic itch.io days, I've always thought that with the focus on actual dice, Die in the Dungeon would translate perfectly into a physical medium. I'm definitely hoping for some cute minis and custom dice, and I'm so excited it looks like they're planning for co-op and miniature frogs. But I'm even more excited to get my hands on a sneaky peek preview in TableTop Simulator. Ladies and gentlemen, behold, Die in the Dungeon. Not that board game, the video game. The board game. The video game. To clarify, the Kickstarter is going to be for a physical game, but huge shout out to Roomiz Games for letting me try out the game virtually and to provide you all with a sneak peek. So we're going to play through Area 1, and the boss we'll be facing is the Scorpion Rider, and with that, we'll get started. So for the first battle, I will play both Cinder and Mango just to show how the co-op portion of the game works, but then we'll switch over exclusively to Cinder after that first battle. I can't be bothered to play two hands at once. For the first battle, let's shuffle these cards. These are basic enemies. We'll pull two out for each battle area. So Cinder will be fighting the Croissant Pillar and the Croissant Pillar. Mango will be fighting a Flyfant and a Flyfant. Now that those are set up, we roll the Die of Destiny roll. We have a 14, and this will influence the actions that the enemies take. This will also influence things like potions or some of the other aspects of the game. This is basically our source of RNG. So for Cinder, let's go ahead and shake the bag up. We'll pull out 5 dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll roll them. Roll those out good, and we'll place them on the codex. And as you can see, everything in the codex has a corresponding real die in the bag. For Hidden Ace, Cinder will start off with an extra draw token, which we'll place in the inventory. And then we'll do the same over here for Mango, who has Scarlet Flask. This one is on setup Genotoxic. So we'll grab a Toxic token, place it on one of the Flyfants, and that Flyfant will take poison. So now for Mango, we'll shake the dice pretty good. Pull out 5 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull these. And then these turns are meant to be played simultaneously, so we'll set one up, and then we'll set the other up, and then we'll explain how they interact. This Die of Destiny also informs where the portal is on our board. This is the way that the co-op element works, is whenever we play a die on this 13 or 14 slot off to the right, just specified on our die, we can then send from Cinder over to Mango, and from Mango over to Cinder. At this point in our turn, we can choose which enemy we want to attack. Might as well attack this one. We kill it, we gain 1 black, which would shield us from there. So there are a couple of key differences in the way that the board game operates versus the video game, and one of these has to do with energy cost. So energy cost is actually based on the number that is rolled on the die. So since this boost die rolled a 3, the energy cost is actually going to be 3. So we'll pay that, and then we'll pay that again for our splash attack. Let's actually put them right here. We'll send the splash attack over to Mango for another 3 energy. 1, 2, 3. And the second difference is the way that the boost dice operate. So this boost die does target dice 3 spaces away, but instead of boosting both spots that are 3 spaces away, you get 3 boosts that you can choose to apply to either of these spaces. So naturally we'll apply it to here to this splash attack. So now we'll move over to Mango, who is going to receive that, how much damage was that? 6 splash damage. So that's going to be pretty significant. So what Mango is going to do is is send this block over to Cinder. Cinder probably needs 2 block, so we'll put one of the boosts over here. We haven't figured out where we're gonna put the other boost yet. It's overkill, but this enemy is definitely going to be dead because already this is just gonna be 4 damage by itself. We send the 2 block over here to Cinder. 1, 2. Mango is going to receive this 6 damage in Splash. Apply the 6 damage to this, which this fly is just dead. He's been dead. And then we'll gain a critical chance here for killing that fly. And then the non-target will receive half of that splash damage, so that's going to be 3. So we'll grab 3 damage, place it right here. Now we'll resolve the enemy turns. So first, this croissant pillar, since we rolled a 14, is going to do 1 damage. So we'll block that with our block. And then this one as well is going to do 1 damage. We'll block that with our block. We lose no health. Now, in this case, the fly fan is still alive. It's going to deal 2 damage to Mango. This is what the critical chance does. So this is the critical chance marker. You can spend critical chance to gain resources, whether that's energy or block or heal. Since we have 2 critical, we're going to spend those, get 1 block. So even though the fly fan does 2 damage, we'll reduce our block by 1 and we'll reduce our health by 1. Then this toxic deals a damage at the end of the fly fan's turn, so place that there. This fly fan is dead. In this case, we did not kill all of our enemies, so the battle continues. We'll discard all of our dice like this, reset our energy up to 6. If we had any block, we'd reset that to 0, and then roll our Die of Destiny. There we go, 11. So even though Mango has no more enemies left to fight, she can still play on the board and use this spot here, the 11, which would be 9 through 12 in the middle. We can still send over block and attack to Cinder. And in this way, kind of the collaboration pays off. First, we help Mango clear all the enemies out. Now Mango can focus on helping Cinder clear all of the enemies out. So we're playing cooperatively. Draw in our dice. 1, 2. Now we discard, put all of our discard back into the bag. Just give it a good shake. 3, 4, 5. Roll these. We did not get our splash attack, so let's spend our draw right there. Did not get the splash attack, so that's too bad, but not the end of the world. So what we'll do is we will play our 2 boost, 1, 2, send over 1 heal, which will be from Mango, so there's an energy. Play our block, there's another energy. And might as well add another boost here. Mango is going to send over her attack. 1, 2. Place the boost right there. 1, 2. That's all anyway. So there's 4 attack. So now we resolve. Mango is going to be healed 1. Cinder gets 3 block. 1, 2, 3. And Cinder gets 4 attack at the target enemy here, which gains another block when we kill this croissant pillar. So in this case, we played our glass heal die, so it goes into the exile instead of the discard, and we won't put it back in the bag after we've drawn it. In this case, we played a heavy attack, so this is actually stuck on the board, and we will have it decrease by 1 face to 1 and discard the rest of the dice here to the discard pile. Roll the Die of Destiny. Ooh, 20. Critical success. We get a critical chance. There we go. And we'll cut this battle just a little bit short because, yeah, we're pretty much guaranteed to put 4 damage out on the board, which is plenty of energy that we have. Didn't quite reset that, but that's okay. And then say goodbye to Mango for the rest of the game because we will not be keeping track of 2 players at the same time. So for our first battle, we get a reward of 1 die draft and 1 coin. And then this is how we would draft reward dice. Let's shake these up. The piles next to each frog here, these are the dice that are specific to the frog, and that's what that reward symbol means. So we'll draw an unupgraded 1, 2, and we can pick one of these to put into our deck. I'll grab the draw die. This has the property of faulty and glass on it. So we'll stick this here for later. So now we actually grab this draw die, and it's this one here. It's the draw die with the gray numbering, and stick it in our bag. So now that we've successfully completed the first battle, we can actually choose our path. So we'll choose this path and trigger another battle. We'll take from this battle deck. This is going to determine what types of enemies we end up fighting. So in this case, we're going to have a difficult enemy. Shuffle those up. A difficult enemy, which is the Shider, and a normal enemy, which is the Croissant Pillar. Let's see how this goes. Right, and with that, we will deal 5 damage, more than enough to defeat Shider. Get rid of the tangled spot that they placed on the board. Battle rewards here, 1 dice and 2 coins. Both of these have random properties, so let's go see what those properties will end up being. First one, let's have it be, it's going to be a Toxic. So we'll grab Toxic, toss it on this attack die. And the next one, shuffle these around, going to be a Retry. And place Retry on the block. We'll grab the Toxic Splash Attack. I think that's going to be very powerful for the boss later. Of course, don't forget to grab that Splash Attack and stick it in our bag. Here's an event. Shuffle those up. Draw from an event card and see what we get. Golden bubbles floating around an empty area. We have 3 options. We can look for the source, which is lose a health but gain 2 honor. We can touch bubbles, which gain us 2 critical, or we can take a small rest, which heals 2. That one is not worth our time. Let's just touch the bubbles and we'll get a little more of this critical. And next we have the Forge. Okay, so to set up the Forge, first we take the common relics, mix those around, and then get 3 options at the top. The rightmost one here is on sale, which would be Bittersweet Cake. So instead of 6 coins, this would only cost 5. Gain a health at the end of combat. Since we only have 5 coins, that kind of limits what we can actually buy. And then we also have these options that always exist. One, we can spend 2 coins to remove a die. That's very nice. We can only do this once per forge, and we can spend 3 coins to upgrade a die, which gives them various improvements. So I think instead of going for the relics, we're going to spend our money on our deck. Let's spend 2 to discard this one, and we'll, in TableTop Simulator, I can't actually pick this up, so we'll just symbolize it by moving this die over and covering it up. And then of course taking it out of our bag. And then we'll spend the rest of our 3 coins to upgrade this splash attack here. There we go. And what the upgrade does to splash attack is instead of rounding down our half amounts, we get to round up. And 1 extra damage on every non-targeted enemy is actually pretty significant. On the chest, you roll the destiny die, and depending on what we roll, determines what we get from the chest. We get 3 coins as a result of that. And that brings us to an elite battle. Rather than grabbing from the just normal battle plans, we grab from the elite battles. Let's see what's in store for us. This first one is a Blug, and you can see here it is empowered. So we're gonna have to take one of these and replace its health. So instead of 5 health, it now has 9 health. And then we'll grab another one, and it is a Spora. So this is a much more difficult fight. All right, so we get 3 draw tokens. This enemy is completely killed. We did overs, we did 7 damage, so immediately killed, which cancels the actions of Blug, thank goodness. And then the splash damage and ended up dealing 3 damage because we rounded up, but then got blocked by 1. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good start. Exile the draw die. Continue. 6 health left, so I have to do 7 damage. Let's start turning in our draws. There we go. That's probably a good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can only have a max of 8 dice on the codex at any time anyway. Whoa, we're going far. That one costs free. That one costs 1 energy. There we go. Then we're going to put 6 boost here, which gives us 7 damage total, which is enough to take out his remaining 6. So the wind killed doesn't matter, and we have defeated the Blug. So we get a few rewards actually. First, we get to draw from the public dice. So these ones are not specific to Cinder. Ooh, a mirror die and a grow heal die. This one's not even glass. I think we have to go with the mirror die though. Next, do we want to shred? I think we'll shred one of the boosts. I'm fine with that. And then 2 coins. Go for another treasure here. Oh, nice. 18. We get a 5 coiner. You hear some faint cries for help. Upon reaching its source, you encounter a wounded soldier begging you for some water. All right, we could grab a new die, increase our max HP. That could be good. I think we'll increase our max HP, which we do by removing one of those blocks. Even in this reality, mirror dice are so powerful. So the way this works is we choose one of the dice 2 spaces away to mirror. Naturally, we're going to be mirroring this one because it mirrors boosts and all. So it's going to do an additional 3 splash damage. So that's 3 splash damage, 6 splash damage, 7 splash damage. So this is enough to completely kill the moth. Very nice. Gain 1 HP. Thank you. And not quite enough to kill the Flyfant by itself. And we roll a 16, so we're going to take 2 damage. We'll go ahead and finish up, put this fly out of its misery, and collect our rewards. Oh, a boost with draw, or we can get a block with heavy. I think we'll go boost with draw though. And before we get to the boss, we have one more trip to the forge. I think we want our medieval scope relic, and then we'll grab the rest of these to spend on the winged sandals. Got a couple relics, and we're ready to fight the scorpion rider, and the scorpion mount. On prepare, place a target on the spot at 10. Place that right there in the middle. And then on play, so this is very similar to the original game. When we target the rider and exhaust him, we get double damage against the scorpion. So he has 4 hearts times player. This has 11 hearts times player. 19. Oh, those are some big damage numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll these. I do want to target the rider. Pretty sure. Then that 1. Play the boost. 1, 2. I'm definitely gonna need to block, otherwise I'm just gonna die in the first attack. Spend this to gain 1 energy. Then it goes down 1, 2, 3. Play this. Play a block die. 1. We'll boost. 1, 2, 3 there. So that's 4 block. We'll use medieval scope to get 2 more block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Normally, when you have multiple players, all players can target the boss. We are doing 3 damage to the Scorpion Rider, which he has 1 block, so that ends up being 2 damage. So then the splash of that is going to be 1, which doesn't even get through his block. So that's unfortunate. So then we'll start with the Scorpion Rider. He does 2 damage, 1, 2, which will block, and then the Scorpion Mount does 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yikes. I'm going to use my wing sandals here to keep this heal die in our codex. Cool. We'll roll the Destiny die, 13. That's going to be another. Oh, good. This one's not going to be a big attack. This one is going to be a big attack. That's okay. 1. Let's draw. 2, 3. 4, 5. There we go. Mirror die. Use die. Did not get our block die. We definitely want to try to defeat him, so it's going to be 1 energy. Our mirror actually can't mirror that attack, so I don't know that that's worth it. There's 2 energy. We do this. How much health does he have? 4. Do that, we should be able to defeat him and stun him. All right, so poison goes on him. We gain 2 health. We deal 1, 2, 3 damage to the rider, which is decreased by 1. So we stunned him. Yeah, target's exhausted. We're doing the splash damage. That's 2 damage. That's not enough to actually target him. So he's going to deal 3 damage to us. 2, 3, and we deal no damage to him so far. Okay. That was a very poor roll. Let's use our draw. Roll on this boost. Good. Do that for 2 energy. 1, 2. That for 2 energy. 1, 2. Not gonna play that. Not gonna play that. That for 1 energy. 1. That for 1 energy. 1. And since it's exhausted, like we have to, like we can't stand around here blocking and drawing forever. We grab a poison, stick it on him. Then we give ourselves a draw, give ourselves a block, deal 4 times 2 damage, which is 8, which is -2 for his block, so that's 6. All right, so we're over halfway there. He does 3 damage to us, 1 of which is blocked. Ooh, we're low. In the cleanup phase, he takes 1 unpreventable damage from poison. So 7. We just need 4 more, which is actually 6. 6 damage to get past his block and defeat him. All right, 18, big damage. We're definitely dead here if we don't defeat him. So we go 1, 2. Check that around. There's our draw. 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I think we really need to get that mirror die. All right, there we go. That's nice. Big boosts. There's a block. Use our draw. Grab that mirror die out. Roll it, please, low. Good. Good. We couldn't have, if that had been a 3, we would have been pretty cooked. This is actually perfect. This is actually perfect. All right, so we do 6. 1, 2, 3. There. Then we'll do our, put those on the wrong spot. That right there. 1, 2. Boost it up. Here's a 3 extra boost. Then place them here, there. 1 energy. There we go. So this is 5 attack and it's mirrored, so that's over 10 attack. We have defeated the Scorpion and beat Area 1. Oh, pour the damage on. Pour the damage on. What is that? 5. Here's another 3. Pour it on. There you go, sir. As you can see, they have Area 2 and Area 3, which you can continue to go on, which introduce more enemies, more bosses, more events, more dice. I had so much fun playing the first area. If there's interest, I might try some videos of the later areas too. Of course, the simulator can't actually compare with rolling real dice and placing them physically on the board, so I can hardly wait for the Kickstarter to open. If this looked interesting to you, I highly encourage you to back the campaign. You can help unlock stretch goals and bring this game to life. I'll link the trailer and the Kickstarter in the description. Again, thank you to Roomiz Games for the sneak peek, and I'll see you in the next video.